Hello. Can anyone see me in the chat? Aha. Okay, we have action. Sorry if that was a little bit delayed there. Not used to hitting the go live button on my streaming software. So thank you for joining. If anybody's actually here, I don't know. I'll be starting in a few seconds, just going to see if anybody else is going to join, and then we'll be ready to go. If anyone's there, then leave me a quick chat. Let me know if you're excited for today's session, or if you have absolutely no idea what's going on, then leave a quick message for me. Let me see that there's some activity in that chat box. Okay, so let's get started. So if we're meeting for the very first time, then my name's Joe and I'm a former IT manager for a large farming cooperative. I'm now a full-time content creator running my own business that helps you create your YouTube channel, rank your videos, and grows your audience. So if that sounds interesting, then do leave a like and subscribe. And as we get through the content, hopefully you'll see exactly how I might be able to help you in the future. So what are we covering today? Well, really there's two kind of key reasons that you would want to research your video ideas. And those that don't research video ideas, it really does stand out on YouTube. So when you're standing out on YouTube, I mean, it's not actually a very good thing. So really what I mean is when you're researching, if you don't research, then you have to guess. There's no other way to do it. You just have to go for it and think, is this going to work? I don't know. The idea behind the research is that you go into your video informed and knowing that it's worthwhile doing. How many of you have made a video that hasn't had any traction, but yet you've spent hours and you know that the content is absolutely amazing, but nobody's searching for whatever you've set up the video to be? So although the content is exactly the right thing, the wording that you used behind the scenes hasn't attracted anyone to that video. And what we're going to go over today is exactly how to use the right wording so you can attract your audience and keep on growing over time organically. So what are we going to do? We're going to look at the keywords and topics that your audience are actually searching for. We're going to use best SEO strategies to find those video ideas, and I'm going to show you some of the tools that I use on a regular basis to find all of these great video ideas and to keep my channel growing, so you can copy and do exactly the same thing for your niche as well. The reason that we need to do this is that if you don't go in with a plan, then you kind of plan to fail. So don't plan to fail, do your plan, and then it becomes quite simple, really. It becomes quite simple to progress and know that you're making content that's going to reach people and it's going to grow your business or brand or YouTube channel or whatever your intent is. So just before we get started, this is the first in a 3-part series, and the second video, which is tomorrow at about 10 o'clock, same time as this one, is all about what is it about? It's all about editing videos. So if you've already done your research and you've got your video ideas, and now you obviously have to go away and record those videos. But once you've recorded them, you might need to edit them as well, and I would definitely recommend editing any videos that you put onto YouTube. So if that sounds helpful, then do come back tomorrow and we'll see the second in the series of 3. The third session is also on Friday, and that will be all about how you position YouTube and your YouTube channel in your business. So that might not make complete sense right now, especially if you don't have a business, but there's 2 kind of avenues to come from on that, and we'll cover both of them in that session. Okay, so I'm going to jump straight into how I research my video ideas and how you can do that too. I use a number of different tools. There's 7 different tools that I've got to show you today. And the first one, actually I'll go through a quick list of them for you. The first one is answerthepublic.com. You may well have heard of all of these things before. Quick disclaimer, nothing here is brand new. You can find all of these different things in different areas on YouTube or in guides and etc. All I'm doing today is showing you exactly how I do mine, and that hopefully will help you on how you do yours, because so many of these guides don't actually show you how to do the things. They kind of tell you what to do and where to go for them, but then they don't show you the how. So that's what this is all about. The second one is YouTube itself, how to use the Ubersuggest there. The same for Google. Google is actually based more around the website than the video, but we can still use Google when you get some slightly different answers and they're still very relevant. Ubersuggest is another one that I recommend. We'll go over that today. That is primarily a paid tool, but you've got a free tier, so you can just use the free tier, which is what I'll be showing today. I won't be using any of the paid features. Udemy, which is good just for a grounding post, really. You kind of look to see if somebody's created a paid course or a free course on Udemy, and then to see if they've got any rankings or if anybody's purchased their course or whatever. And if they've got some traction there, that kind of shows you that means that there is some interest and some audience there. Google Trends, which is a slightly different way to look at researching your videos and to compare the best ones that you may have a list of different ideas. And then the last one, VidaIQ, which is probably my favorite tool. Well worth staying around to the end for that one, just so you know exactly the best ones to use, as well as all of the others that we're going through. So let's start off right at the top. Answerthepublic.com. I'm going to swap over to my computer screen and I'll put myself in the bottom corner there. I don't know if that's... I'm just going to hold up for 1 second, let the screen catch up to make sure that that has actually transitioned over for you, because I don't want to carry on without you being able to see everything. So give me a second. Yeah, so that has transferred over. Fantastic. Okay, right. Let me put my little cursor on as well so you can see where I am. 2 seconds. Okay, so I've got my cursor there. This is answerthepublic.com. On a web browser, go to answerthepublic.com. In here, type in whatever you think is a good title idea or topic. So for me, I'm going to use the example of Shotcut through all of this. If you don't know what Shotcut is, then it's a video editing program that I teach on my YouTube channel and I recommend using if you're just starting out on YouTube. Now, there are lots of other ones available and Shotcut is definitely not the most popular, but it is completely free. So that's why I use it, and there's always some good things to look at when you're doing this kind of training on such topics. So I'm going to type in here Shotcut, and this is my topic of interest. I want to find video ideas for Shotcut. I don't have any more input than that at the moment. I'm just starting off my search. So I'm going to click on Shotcut or type in Shotcut and then click on search. This will take a few seconds, but it will come up with, oh, it's going pretty quickly, it will come up with this kind of view. Now, I understand you probably can't see that very well on here. Thank you, Catherine, for telling me it's working. That's fantastic. Just seen your note. So you've got all of your questions here. You can click onto the data tab, and now you've got 50 odd different questions that you can now go and answer for your YouTube channel. These are all things that people are searching for. It doesn't give you much information behind it at this stage, but you can still understand that this is a great starting point, so you know exactly what kind of things people are searching for when you look at your topics. So one of the ones that I use a lot is the how section. If you look on my my YouTube channel, then you'll find how to add text, how to cut video. I haven't actually got a crop video one, so that might be one that I can use fairly soon. You'll get exactly the same for your topic that you've typed in, and as you scroll down, we go through, you've got pre-propositions here, and there's so many different things and ideas that will come to you from just reading this screen. You do also have to be careful that in some cases this is not shortcut, it's shortcut. So for this example, which is another reason that I use it, that it doesn't always get it 100%. If there's words that are similar that it might think are supposed to be the word that you've put in, it might actually overtake and kind of show you some wrong results. So do take it with a pinch of salt, but in theory, it's a good starting place. Another really good one for YouTube is if you've got anything like a versus video where you've got Shotcut versus OpenShot or Shotcut versus Premiere Pro, those kind of videos and reviews will do very well. So great video ideas come from good titles and good topics and knowing exactly what you're talking about. These just give you the starting point, but really there's 206 ideas here, and if you did, let's say, one video a week, that's 4 years worth of ideas just on one page, and I've done that in however many seconds it's taken me to find this this content. Now that's a great starting point. I wouldn't just stop there. If you're literally creating your first video, then you could just do that. You could just start there and you could be off for the next kind of few weeks. I would recommend going deeper and further, especially if you have a business. Just having this crop up doesn't show you the detail behind it. It doesn't really say that it's the best to be doing. So yeah, let's go one step deeper. Let's take one of these ideas, Shotcut, how to add text. I'm going to copy that into my clipboard and I'm going to look on the YouTube homepage. So if I just type in Shotcut here, this is the second method, by the way. So if you want to copy along, follow along, then this is number 2. If I just type in Shotcut, then I get all of these different ideas. This is the auto suggest box, and basically what it will do is it will suggest things that other people are searching for and it thinks you might be interested in searching for too. So as you can see, there's no all this text animation or add text. There we go. So you've got the add text option, which then that's a 2-strike thing almost. You've kind of got on the first search, yeah, people are searching for how to add text, and then in the second search, yeah, people are looking to how to add text. Now, if your idea doesn't pop up on this search box, then it doesn't really mean that much because you only get a few to choose from here. So the more that you type in, the more refined it's going to be. So if I started with how to, for example, you might get a completely different list crop up. Now so how to add text in Shotcut is still there. So that's another really good sign that how to add text in Shotcut would be a really good video idea. If you're struggling still and you can't find things, you can do what's called a wildcard and add a star at the start or end, and it will come up with a different list. So this just gives you some different ideas, some more ideas. If you add it at the start, it will add in words before the word shortcut. And if you add in the star at the end, it will add in words after the word shortcut. And you can also do that, so it's in the middle. So that's 3 kind of searches from the same tool that you'll be able to find as well. This will only work for the highest search volume. So if you're trying to target a very niche audience, then you might not find this works overly well for you. However, you also have to consider, if those search terms aren't popping up in any way, then is your audience big enough for the niche that you're currently thinking about? I'm not here to judge that, but you do have to consider how many people are actually searching for these things, which we'll get onto very soon. So that's how I use the YouTube search. Number 3 was Google search, and this works in exactly the same way. If you type in to your search shortcut, then you get similar things, and add text is there as well. So that's looking like a pretty strong video idea all the way through. The other things that you need to consider here are Google searches for websites and YouTube searches for videos. So if you're creating a video, the YouTube search is the best place to start. However, if you do click onto search, onto add text, then you do get these video ideas as well. So it's not like YouTube, it's not like Google doesn't look for videos. It doesn't prioritize videos. Okay, so just because it's not a video search tool doesn't mean that it's not valid. Something to bear in mind as you're going forwards, especially if you're creating a blog or anything like that off the back of your video, or even creating your video off the back of the blog, you might want to swap it around depending on your situation, your circumstances. Okay, I'm going to take a quick gulp. Now, the 4th tool is Ubersuggest, and actually the add-on that I've got enabled here, it shows you the Ubersuggest add-on. Now, I won't cover that here, but you can instantly see that shortcut add text does actually have some search volume behind it. So in the last month, 210 people, according to Ubersuggest, and these numbers you do have to take with a pinch of salt. They're not necessarily 100% correct, but that's picked up 210 people have searched for that. That's quite a high number for shortcut. If I was getting 200 views a month on one video, then I'm quite happy with that. The idea being that if you're getting 200 views per month, firstly, the video's there for a very long time, but secondly, every single week you're creating more videos, and if 200 people are watching that video, and 200 people are watching your next video, and 200 people are watching another video that's you make in 6 months' time, and you've made a video every week up until then, imagine the kind of traction that you're suddenly getting just from 200 views a month. Doesn't sound like much, but it does add up very quickly, especially if you keep on adding to your video library. Okay, so into the Ubersuggest platform. Now, you do have to sign in to get this information, but really you've got a full overview of your website and website analytics and things like that. The Ubersuggest tool is primarily for website SEO, but it's got this very good tool, keywords, that you can use. You've got keyword ideas, and you can use that just in here. You get, I think, you get so many searches again per day, so you have to be careful with how many you search for. Just like the other one, the Answer the Public website, you get so many searches on that as well. The reason that they limit it is because they've got paid tiers, and they would like you to pay for this kind of stuff, but you can just stick within the 3. So if I type in shortcut and then do a search, there we go, got 2 out of 3 daily searches available. Let it load. And there's some of the suggestions that come off the back of your keyword shortcut. So you can see, if you look closely, this is actually shortcut keys. So these aren't relevant. We don't want to look at shortcut. We want to look at shortcut. So you might have to come down a little bit. Here we go. It starts to say shortcut here. One of the first ones, shortcut add text. And it recommends that there's 90 people per month looking for that. And that, again, 90 people, it suggested 210 people on the Chrome extension. It's not consistent in its own findings. You're going to have to take those with a pinch of salt, like I kind of said before, but really you can see that there is volume there. And even if you're only getting 90 people per month, 90 people over 6 months worth of videos, 1 video every week, it will soon add up, and you'll soon start getting the traction that way. But the key thing is that you're looking for that keyword that people are actually searching for. If they're not searching for it, they're not going to find it. If you targeted, how do I add text in Shortcut? Well, the keyword there is add text in Shortcut, and you might find that nobody's searching for that particular keyword or key phrase. So what you actually want is Shortcut add text, and that is the keyword that people are searching for. Anyway, this is a really good tool. I encourage you to filter through it and have a little look around all of the different things that are available. That it's such a big tool. There's a whole website dedicated to explaining how to use this. The tool is called Ubersuggest, but the guy behind it is called Neil Patel, and he's a very, very good SEO strategist. So if you need help with any of this, head over to his website and YouTube channel, and you'll just get loads of information on it. I'm going to move on, and I think I kind of overviewed this very quickly before, but Udemy, if you search for something on Udemy and it comes back with nothing, the chances are that there isn't a very big audience for your video or your topic idea. Now, this is more kind of topic based rather than individual video idea based, but it still gives you a good idea of if you've got an audience coming to your or potential audience that would come to your channel. So let's do Shortcut again. I want to search for courses on Shortcut, and if you don't know what Udemy is, then it's basically a great big library for content creators to create courses and sell their courses on. You can sign up for free as a learner, and then you can browse all of the different things that they've got available. I'm not actually even logged in, and I can still search. So the very first one, Complete Shortcut Masterclass, generally costs £80 at the moment. They've got a sale on for 19. 202 people have left reviews, and generally speaking, the people that leave reviews are probably, depending on how he's structured his course, maybe up to 50% of the people that have actually partaken in the course. So, you know, if you said there was 400 people that have taken that course, 200 of them have left reviews, well, that says to me that there's some traction on the topic of Shortcut. You can do the same thing for your topics and work out if you've got traction there. As I go down, don't just start with the top one, because that's just one to look at, but go down, and this is where it starts to become a little bit more obvious that Shortcut isn't the biggest niche in the world. Shortcut isn't, I don't think that a purely focused Shortcut channel would be a profitable thing, which is why I use lots of different software and package it all together for YouTubers or content creators. But as you see, there is some traction on there. But the next one going down, this is not about Shortcut at all. One down here, it doesn't say Shortcut, it says video production, which could be on Shortcut, it could be on anything else as well. So really that doesn't say Shortcut. Then you've got a definite Shortcut one there, which is obviously again quite expensive, and then Shortcut complete course. and then you start to go into different languages. So that says to me again that Shotcut is not huge on Udemy. If I typed in Premiere Pro or something like that, which is an alternative premium video editing software, then I would imagine I'd get hundreds, probably thousands of Premiere Pro courses. If that's what's happening, then you've got two things happening. You've got one, you've got oversaturation on Premiere Pro, and two, you've probably got undersaturation on Shotcut. So is Shotcut going to be a great niche for you to go into primarily on its own? Looking at this one tool, I would probably say no. Looking at all of them all together, I'd probably say that you could get away with it. Yeah, it's small, but the next tool will tell us really if it's growing or if it's shrinking or what's happened over like the last 5 years. So use Udemy as a quick scope as to how big or how much money you could be making from it. And again, these are all just hints and tips towards getting great video ideas. So the next tool that we're looking at is Google Trends. Now, this isn't really that fantastic for looking up individual topic title ideas, but for the topic, again, it really is quite good. So if I type in Shotcut here and let it load, it comes up with the search volumes and interest over time. So this is just for the UK because I'm based in the UK. I'm going to set that to worldwide because my content doesn't really matter if it's location based or not. And I'm going to set the last 12 months to the last 5 years so I can see what's happened with it in the last few years. On this drop down here, this is also a really interesting one. You can change this from web to YouTube. Now, I would suggest that we're looking for YouTube video ideas. Let's change it to YouTube. And you can see that at the round, COVID obviously hit around here and everybody went straight to video editing and home editing and things like that. So it had a massive spike just around here. And then it's slowly coming back down. That was possibly wave 2 happening around there. And then it's dropping back down. And this is kind of the area that you'd expect it to be around. That looks to me like when it was, I'm not sure why that was so high actually, but these down here, you can see that it's slowly decreasing, but it seems to have petered out in the last since about October last year. It's kind of stayed roughly static. So I would imagine that Shotcut's probably going to stay around there now. It might change over time. It's something that you need to keep an eye out on. And as you scroll down, you can see where they're most popular. So, Europe, for me, is quite popular. And I'm in Europe myself, so it works quite well. But obviously also Canada and the US have some representation there as well. So have a little look through that and see what you think. The other part of this tool is fantastic. So if you've got your title or your topic idea here and you want to compare it to another topic idea, let's say Premiere Pro. Why is it not there? Adobe Premiere Pro, there we go. So a Premiere Pro's, I would imagine, the biggest, largest video editing software that most of the professionals use at the moment. It's expensive, it does cost money, but that's the kind of level that you're looking at in comparison to Shotcut. Now, if I was to look at DaVinci, how do I spell that? DaVinci Resolve, there we go. DaVinci is another free version, slightly more popular than Shotcut. And should we go for Kden Live, which is another software? And you can see that Kden Live's actually on that it's looking very small. But if I just take away Premiere Pro, because Premiere Pro is obviously massively more popular than any of the others, then you can start to see, it will zoom in a little bit more for you. You can start to see the difference. Now, Shotcut It's a good middle of the road one. You've got some insights that you can take away there and think, well, you know, it's not the smallest, it's not the largest. Has it got room for growth? Yes. Is it the most stable because it's so small? No. You've got ups and downs, and that's really what you can do with all of these tools put together. As you go through, you'll get a very good sense of whether there's traction behind your video topic and title ideas. So the first few that we've been through, we're really looking at the title ideas, and the last few were more looking at the topic ideas. They're both as relevant as each other, and you probably don't need to do the topic ideas as much because if it's, you know, the same topic that you're talking about week after week or month after month, then you don't necessarily need to keep on with all of those, with all that research, because it's not going to change drastically over that short amount of time. But I would recommend coming back here semi-regularly, maybe once a month, just checking to see if it's trending up, trending down, going in which direction, so you're informed and you know that it's either working for you or maybe it's starting to work against you. The last tool that is really a game changer, in my opinion, is VidaIQ. So we'll look at that right now. I've logged in. I'm only on the free account, so I don't have a paid version. But if I go to the dashboard, you get quite a lot of good information here. And the thing that crops up first, and the most important thing in terms of this conversation about researching video ideas, is your top keyword opportunities, which appear in the middle of the dashboard here. If you actually head over to the keywords button just at the top of the dashboard there, you get the same things here, but if you've got the paid version, then you'll see the rest of the information as well. Now, keyword opportunities, if I was to, it's basically saying to me, if I was to make videos on these and rank for these things, then there's a lot of people searching for these terms and the competition on them is extremely low. And this number here, the higher this number, the easier it is to actually rank for the video. So, or the video, the keyword idea. So if you look at this one, how to use shortcut, they're actually the same thing. This one just extends by saying video editor. So if I was to rank or try and rank my video and try and use the keyword for how to use Shortcut video editor, then it automatically implies that this would be in there as well. So instead of it being 38,000 people searching, it's more like 58,000 people searching, because you've got that one that also works with this. Your overall complexity is quite simple, and it would just be a fantastic video for me on my channel to do next. Now, the way that this all groups together and comes together, it means that you have to have been posting videos on your channel for a while, and then it can go away, look at your channel and grab the insights out, grab the data back for you, so you don't have to do the hard work. This will only work if you're an established channel, or if you've at least got a few videos on your channel and you've been posting in the last few months. If it's old stuff that you've got on there, or if it's stuff that isn't relevant to what you're doing now, then it's really not going to work very well to start off with. It will get there, but you just need to give it some time. So that's why I didn't start with this tool. I personally do like this tool the most. This is the one that I use pretty much every week, along with Answer the Public. They're the two tools that I use the most, and really I would suggest using this one once you're slightly established and once you're looking for slightly more in-depth video ideas as well. So, for example, you can also look for what's the best on your channel. So the one that I didn't actually know that, the one that is the best is Shortcut Add Text. I don't know what the, how many is this? Let me see. No, it's not going to. Okay. So yeah, obviously I'm guessing that's probably in the last either 24 hours or something. I've had 5 views on that one video, and I'm guessing that's minutes, 22 minutes of watch time. For one video to have that in 24 hours, I made that probably 2 years ago now, and it's still getting views and watch time every day. That's really good. So that's one that I might want to think about expanding on in the future, and that's something that you should be looking at too, especially if you're looking for video ideas and you're an established channel. Look at what's worked for you before and then double down on the content, so you know that you're getting the most amount of people coming to your channel and they're actually searching for it. Okay, so that has kind of concluded the session. It's been interesting for me to do. I hope you've got lots of value from it as well. The session tomorrow is all about editing videos, and we'll be looking at Shotcut and how to edit videos in Shotcut. I'll be using some demo data or some demo video clips, and we'll be using the very basic transitions and cuts so you can get started very quickly and very easily. Now that you've got your video ideas, you'll be able to go away and record that video idea, and tomorrow we'll be able to edit the video as well. Okay, so just before we leave then, just before we leave, I'd like to say thank you very much for staying to the end and watching, and I've got no comments, so I would have done a question and answers now. I'll hang around for maybe 10-20 more seconds just to see if any questions do come in. I don't think that there's maybe many people online. I've got two people watching. Thank you for coming. And yeah, I will love you and leave you. Thank you very much.